On this assignment, we have a page with gears that you can cut out. The instructions will tell you to trace them onto cardboard or Bristol board after you cut them out. I did this, and then I realized I could have saved myself a step. So I cut out my gears. I put them on cardboard. I would recommend Bristol board, or like if you have that cereal box material. This is a diaper box. It was pretty difficult to cut through. My hand's going to be sore for a little while. But what I could have done is I could have taken a Sharpie if I had one, and instead of cutting them out, I could have just gone over the lines with my Sharpie, and that would have gone through the page and right onto the cardboard. So I could have saved a step if I did it that way. And if you're watching this video, well, maybe you can save a step. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the cardboard version of the gears. So I have those here. 1, 2, drop 1, 3, 4. Okay. It says color one tooth on each gear so you know where the starting point is. Just going to get my marker out. And one tooth on each gear would be one of these little ridges. We call those teeth. And one would be one tooth. So I'm just going to do that on all of them. 3 and 4. Okay. Place one small gear on a piece of flat cardboard. Now, it doesn't tell us which small gear to use, and they are a little bit different. I'm going to use the smallest gear, and hopefully that'll work just fine. This is a split back pin or a butterfly clip. They're usually gold. And usually your teacher will give you one. If you don't have one of these, you can still do this experiment. Might even be a little easier, especially if you're using thick cardboard like I am. You need to very carefully poke a hole in your cardboard. And I think for that, I'm not going to use the scissors and push them into my hand. I'm just going to use a sharpened pencil. And I'm just going to wiggle it on my center dot, trying not to damage my gear too badly. And I also don't want to poke myself with a pencil because that could still hurt. And I'm going to wiggle it all the way through. And what I want is I want to be able to turn my gear on my pencil. So I can do that. And then what I'm going to do is the same thing with my flat piece of cardboard. There goes my lead. There we go. So now I have a gear that will turn. That is stuck to my cardboard. Okay, so a split back pin or not, you can do this. Now, so the next thing it's going to ask you to do is to place the second small gear near the first one so that the teeth of both gears are meshed together. So I've got my first gear on there. Hopefully you can see this. And I'm going to place my second one here so that they're meshed together. And that's so when my cardboard is flat, they might turn and work together. That's the hope. So I'm going to attach it the same way. I'm going to, am I going to jam another pencil in here? I think I am. So I'm going to put my pencil through my gear first. It's a little easier. And let that slide down. I'm going to try to line up my two colored teeth, just so they're starting off together. And then, boom. Okay, now I've got my two gears on here. Hopefully the pencils being so tall doesn't make it hard for you to see, but there we go. We've got our two gears on there. So turn the first small gear and record what happens in the chart below. And then you're going to repeat these steps for the other sizes of the gear, so the medium gear and the large gear. Keeping the first small gear in place and using it as the driver gear this time. So this is going to be my driver gear, which means this is going to be the gear that I spin. Now that I have holes, I might switch to the split back pins because I think that's going to hold them in from behind just a little bit better. So there's one. Just open it up like that from behind. And here's the other one. Let's get my teeth together. Okay. So when I spin one gear, I want to see what's going to happen. You might need to it works, but it's not working perfectly. So we're just going to do what we can with what we've created because this is what we're doing. So I want to turn it clockwise. So pretending it's maybe the second hand on a clock. And I want to turn it 6 times. And then I want to count how many times this gear, this small gear beside it, turns 6 times. So as we work around it, and I am just helping it stay kind of meshed together. So there's one, and you'll see that my 2 color pieces are back where they started. Okay, let's keep going. You could do this just on a table kind of without the pins and just spin them together to see what happens.